everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can use Notebowl to create assignments with file submission. We start off in the assignments tab here and we go and add a new assignment. That brings up this form here and you can see the different elements of the form. So we start off with title, which is simply the title of your assignment, paper 1. Category. You have different categories based on what you create in the grades tab. You can get more info on this in the grades video on ETS's YouTube channel. Visible to is a new feature on Notebowl that allows you to choose whom the assignment is visible to. So it can be visible to a certain group that you create in the groups tab or a certain class that you're teaching. So I'm going to make this visible to the Notebowl 202 students. The grade display is also something that you adjust in the grades tab, and you'll get more info on that in the same video. So I'm going to put this as percentage for now. So in the description, I want to specify that this is a file submission, and I'm going to specify it to be word submission just for the sake of this example. And here I can attach files if I want to. If you are using a Google Drive link to provide more additional info on an assignment, you want to simply paste the link here. Available date is when students see that assignment. So I'm going to make this available at 8 a.m. and due date is simply the date that the assignment is due. So in the submission type, we have 3 options. No submission would mean that you're asking the student to submit not in Notebowl but through some other means like email or in class. File submission is submitting a file through Notebowl, and the discussion board is just posting answers in the discussion board on Notebowl. So we're going to go for the file submission, and I'm going to make this an individual project or homework. Graded by professor. In the submission options down here, we can see that there are multiple checkboxes. I'm going to allow late submissions because sometimes if students are having trouble with the internet and they might submit a minute or 2 late because of an internet problem, they will not be able to submit it just because the due date is so accurate. You can allow late submissions and then later see the time that they submitted it, and based on that, allow to accept or not accept the assignment. This way you can also avoid students emailing you at 12 or 12:01 in the morning. We're not going to convert this to Google Docs for now. We are going to allow only certain file types. So I specified that I want students to submit a Word document. So I'm going to accept extensions of doc and docx, which are basically Word document files. You might want to specify this more in the description. Allow a limited number of submission attempts just limits how many submissions students can make, but I'm not going to do that. So we create the assignment now. And this is what you see. So we see that the students haven't submitted any homework yet, and we see that the grades are not published. This is different from what was available recently in Notebowl, where grades were published by default. Now I'm going to show you what the student sees. One feature on Notebowl is that you can go to the More tab and you can view this assignment from a student's perspective. So right now we are viewing as a generic student, but you can view as a more specific student down here. And that assignment is not visible right now because we specified it to be visible at 11 a.m. So we can go back to the professor view by clicking this X, and we can see that paper 1 is not available yet because the time is 11. So we can change that by editing the details of this assignment. So I'll make the available date 10:30, save. And so now the assignment is open. So if we go back to viewing as a student, we can see this assignment is now available. So we can see the description here, and it is also specified by Notebowl, saying only the following file types are accepted: doc and docx. So I'm just quickly going to submit an assignment as a student, and I'll be right back. Now we can see that a student has submitted the assignment. The status says that it needs grading. In order for you to preview this file, you can either click here or on this preview submission button here. So now you can preview the submission. One thing that you can do is if you want to mark up this file in Microsoft Word, you can download this file by clicking the download button here, or you can close this preview and you can download it from this button here. After you download the student's file, you can mark it up in Microsoft Word using features such as comments and track. Once you're done marking that file, you can upload that file for the student to see. The way you do that is you go to Preview Submission, you go to the Add Feedback section here, and you attach that file. So that file is the file with the marked up comments. And I'm just gonna specify to the student to download the file and open in Microsoft Word. To view the feedback. And I'm also going to give them a grade. So now that I've provided feedback for the student, I'm going to have to publish my grades in order for the student to be able to see it. So I'm going to publish the grades. And now if I go back into the student view, you can see that the feedback is present here. The reason why I specified that the student needs to download the file first is because if they were to preview it just here on Notebowl, they won't be able to see the markup, which is why it helps to specify it here. And that is it for this video. That is how you create assignments in Notebowl with file submissions.